Audio Jungle.
Hello. This week, my team and I will be telling you about the growth of one of the largest states in America, Texas. The future of Texas looks very bright. The state is one of economic development, population growth, and innovation. The advent of the singularity will spark a plethora of opportunities for us as a state to grow and dominate many of the traditional markets. We will see an increase in technology to combat the growing needs, an increase in construction to combat the growing population, and even an increase in jobs to keep up with the rapid growth. Texas will be seen as one of the leading states on a national scale, with many of the cities topping the charts as the fastest growing in the U.S. The state can also see a rapid economic increase, as DFW will be the third largest economy in the U.S. by 2030. We can also see an increase in immigration depending on our new president's policies, which will lead to rapid growth in many different areas. While there is a great increase, we also do see some problems as a state. With this influx of migration, we'll see a greater need for precious resources and struggle to keep up with a lot of increasing demands. As we see the advent of the singularity, this is where Texas can shine in the spotlight. We have already become a leader in many areas, and now we will be able to innovate new ways to combat the growing needs. I feel that Texas is a state that does not ever sleep, and we as a society will continue to grow, create, and conquer to the end. Overall, I see Texas as being one of the leading states in growth, innovation, healthcare, construction, technology, and many other areas as the year. There's a drawback in the sense that a population is growing rapidly. There's not enough money to support the amount of people. With an increase in people, there will also be a need for more public servant jobs, more construction to build houses, and make things more accommodable for large amounts of people. This is where Texas lacks, and this is where the singularity could come into play. With that many people in the state, there will have to be more innovations and changes to Texas to prepare for this large amount of population and needs and growth that we are expecting.
So an example of singularity is Georgetown, Texas. So it's the fastest growing city in America, and I am from Georgetown, Texas, and so I've lived there my whole life, and I've seen from when I was younger there was one high school, 3 middle schools, a couple elementary schools to go along with those, and now that I'm moved out to College Station, going home, there's 2 high schools, there's 4 middle schools with plans of more on the way, and a billion elementary schools, it seems. And so that's just an example of how all the population growing affects like how many schools you need, and we have 1 hospital right now, and I'm sure there's like works in the more. We're also really close to Austin, so people go there too. There's now a complete outlet mall, or not an outlet mall, a shopping center with like a Target, a Kohl's, all kinds of stores that has been built and is pretty successful. In Georgetown, we have a huge retirement community that just keeps adding to the population growth. And now there's also a new HEB. So there's 2 grocery stores, and all of this is just not even recognizable from the old Georgetown that I grew up. And that's only from about 18 to 20 years. And if you look back at when my parents lived in Georgetown, that's 30, 40 years ago, and there was 1 main road that was like 1 lane, and now it's 4 lanes, or 2 and 2, and there's so much traffic, and back then there was like no one in Georgetown. And so that's just an example of how singularity can affect a population.
Energy has been a top concern for nations across the world the last couple of centuries. Energy is what allows us as a society to live the way that we want to live. We need energy to light up our homes at night, drive our cars to work, and most importantly, to charge our phones. We simply cannot imagine a future without it. But that future might be coming whether we want it to or not. In the next 35 years, Texas will have a population increase of 27 million people. The current population is estimated to be around 28 million, which means we will practically double in size in just 35 years. If we can't support the increase in population, disaster will strike. Blackouts all across the state. You will have to stumble in the darkness at night without any electricity to light your home. You won't be able to drive to work anymore, and you'll have to find a job closer to home or not work at all. And of course, you won't be able to check out your Twitter timeline for the latest memes. Are the luxurious lifestyles that we've grown accustomed to sustainable? only if we can bring in more clean, renewable energy. Sure, we can continue to try to rely on oil and natural gas like we have in the past, but how long will that last? And at what cost? Would it not be better to find a more permanent solution for both economic and environmental purposes? It is clear that renewable energy is the future of Texas.
As Josh mentioned earlier, Texas's already large population of 27 million is expected to double in the next 35 years. Our vision for Texas better utilizing renewable energy will not only be beneficial for the state's rapidly growing future, but also for current problems. Traffic is a major problem, and if you've ever driven through places like Dallas-Fort Worth, Austin, and especially Houston, you know exactly what this problem looks like. On top of the abundance of cars causing traffic, another effect is air pollution. Approximately 4 million people die every year from air pollution, and Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth rank 6th and 8th respectively for most polluted U.S. cities. This can have negative and severe effects for the future of Texas, as more people will be exposed to polluted air, thus raising the number of overall people in Texas with health problems. Traffic will also continue to get worse, with more people coming in, as the highways will become increasingly populated with Texans in the future. Renewable energy will be able to alleviate both traffic and health problems, as fewer cars will mean less air pollution and less pollution-related health issues. With the projected population increase in Texas, renewable energy becomes a necessity due to the health benefits and traffic benefits that it can bring. This is why we envision renewable energy to positively impact the future of Texas citizens.
As we stand here facing the problem of finding clean energy sources to accommodate a rapidly growing population, our team sees only one solution. A breakthrough in clean energy has recently been discovered, but it's not being implemented because of the money that major oil and electricity companies would lose when the public became aware of it. That source is ocean currents. One man discovered that through the use of this technology, he could not only create massive amounts of clean, renewable energy, but the tool that generated the energy simultaneously generated clean drinking water, which would help to fill another major need that has presented itself in the face of this growing population. The water produced could be used for drinking, irrigation, and aid to third world countries that have no clean drinking water. This would be a major advancement in technology for our society in Texas, but also for the world. This method of energy generation would cut out the byproducts that we face from oil and gas and cut down on pollution, allowing the Earth to become healthy once again. We've all seen the harmful effects of climate change due to the depletion of the ozone layer. Switching to this clean alternative would ensure that a low-cost form of energy existed for all people, no matter the size of the population, and it would give the Earth a chance to heal, at least partially, from the damage that we've created by using other energy sources.
As a team, the solution we see fit for this growing issue makes nothing short of complete sense. The device that would make all of this possible is an electric generator that gathers its energy from the natural rotations of Earth. The generator takes in salt water from the ocean, processes it, and then leaves behind the minerals that were filtered from the salt water. Now, this all seems very simple. However, the way the generator begins to work after these steps are completed becomes a little bit more complex. Once minerals have been left behind, the water vapors travel upward through the generator and are caught inside the vortex-like chamber. Once the water vapor is inside the vortex, the water begins spinning around rapidly, creating a hurricane inside of the chamber. This is known as the Coriolis effect. The high level of force from these motions cause the turbines to spin, which is where the electricity is secured. While this procedure almost seems too good to be true, our team truly believes that having several of these generators in our oceans will allow great improvement in the area of clean energy.